going to be the news for Canada, September 21st, part 2. For the Danforth shooting, more information is being released. They searched his house, they found white powder, Islamic head gown, and it was for national security reasons they had to search it. So it looks like some sort of invasion or Islamic invasion or a kid that got duped up, and they put him full of drugs and they used MK Ultra situation to invoke some sort of situation to create drama, most likely. Or it's just a full-blown terrorist attack, but either way, it's not just a simple mental disorder kid that just went crazy. There's going to be more of these unless people get their shit together. Radisson Hotel at the Toronto East End is where the refugees are staying. Apparently people are still renting out from out of country and coming to visit there without knowing this. And then they're getting all these issues that all hotels around the world that are facing, that migrants stay at, are dealing with. The best thing for any Canadians in Toronto is to do is start boycotting these companies. And then once you start boycotting them, they'll stop accepting these liberal handouts by liberal governments who allow them to do these things. Other than that, they're going to keep flooding your areas, start causing crime, start looking at the real news in Sweden and UK, and that's exactly how all nations that accept the globalism turn out. Max called out the liberal newspaper or news reporter, calling out how carbon tax is going to put money back into people's pockets. This shows just how much they're willing to lie and be stupid in order to push an agenda. Don't waste your time with them. Most likely, even the negative press or the negative argument doesn't convince these liberals. They're lost in their own narrative psyop. Just push what the positive stuff is, and the people that aren't so brainwashed will go away from it. From what I hear, 4 to 6% globally are too far gone in the psyop to get fixed. So that's going to be the same 4 to 6% in Canadian population as well. There's a major storm and tornado warning for Peterborough and Ontario area, but there was a tornado that just went through the Don Orban, Ontario area. If anyone wants to do some research, look into pole shift, volcanoes, sinkholes, where the Nazis went after World War II, and why all the world leaders keep going to Antarctica and coming back with black eyes. Something interesting to spare your time with. Canada is currently at a 40-year low on the economy. For some reason, Canadian investigators are reporting on and investigating that WADA, which is WADA, might have rushed the Russian approval of their anti-doping situation. Seems like liberal Canada is trying to start a war with Russia as well, and they keep trying to instigate things because they're probably involved in the whole Soros Ukraine situation, the whole Soros anti-Russian warfare between UK and them, and the instigation between Russia and current Trump. So Canada has its own problems to deal with. I'm not sure why these organizations keep fucking around with other people. Someone should put a stop to it. Seems like they pushed a hardcore media lie as soon as the shooting happened. This was probably the liberal push and the liberal mayors and the liberal police heads that were trying to keep the situation down. The sheep deserve it for how they live their life. So if you want to know what's going on, take some responsibility for yourself, go research yourself, pass laws, get into politics, and keep exposing the situation. Eventually they'll be forced to expose what they know. But until then, you're just playing by their rules. Soros will use all tricks necessary in order to go through with his plan. He's getting desperate in America and he's losing his front, so he will use Canada as the bounce off, I'm assuming, or else he's already very deep into all the systems and the networks and the bureaucrats. Trump passed a law that took away the money of all human trafficking around the world and involved in America. And around that same time, Soros defunded all of his money and he put it into a non-profit organization. This was due to the fact because he would have lost it all. He's deep into human trafficking wherever he goes, and the human globalization push. That's what the real cover is for. So something you guys want to look into when you're passing laws for the PPC and how you want to deal with Soros. Many companies have associated him and his organizations as invading forces, and they kicked him out of the country. So that's something you might want to look into. I don't know if it's information that people don't know or if it's too high level corruption, but the more people realize what he is and who the people that he funds are, the more people realize what's really going on with him. He is in almost every movie talk. There's an interview on YouTube that you really want to wake people's head up, and he's asked how was his childhood as a World War II soldier. He said, oh, it was the best time. It was a growing experience for me. What he did was he became a Nazi and he started killing his own Jewish people, or what he says his own Jewish people are. And he's chuckling about it, same way Trudeau chuckles at the 15 or 13-year-old dead girl. So, something to look into. The Minister of Environment, the person that probably a brown card liberal appointee to make the whole situation look like a happy rainbow situation, which is, I don't know why you would run politics that way, but that's what you Canadians do. So he's planning on looking to boost a more green energy sufficient program and spend billions of Canadian dollars on it. It's another scam. Don't go for it. Quebec bans face coverings and veils, and someone was reporting why Quebec is allowed to do it and no one else, because everyone else would get a pushback. So I guess the Quebec government or Quebec people or that constituency owns the media and Trudeau and CBC and whatnot. Just to be clear, normal human beings do not need to be covering their face according to a belief they had when they were a child and their parents beat it into them. Only a slave mentality does that, and it should be on every grown-up, adult, and responsible human being that has care to tell other people that are brainwashed like this is not your way of life. And if you happen to be the majority in a country, don't be such a cuck society that allows them to move in and brainwash their children into this shit, and then you allow them to brainwash your children into this shit. The children don't know how to fight back. They believe what the parents do, and the parents are being allowed to do this kind of stuff by the society they moved into. So pretty much it's kind of your guys' fault too. Also, when it comes to the new PPC party, a policy you might want to look into is no foreign aid unless what you would consider a Canadian is housed and has a job that wants to work and is a responsible human being, because only a corrupt society would steal money through taxes and spend that money in foreign nations under the guise of nation building for other people. That was just a globalist UN tactic that was pushed in to brainwash people to take the wealth and put it somewhere else. They think they're helping build other nations. Who's set up the company to build up other nations? The same globalist tax grabbers that went over there and set up the corporations which you give it to, and it funnels through them and they do their own little things. For how many years has people been trying to help countries out? Why is no one getting better? No one's really looking into it, I guess. The school walkouts done by the liberal children that have been brainwashed is a good thing to look into for all parents. This is what these parents, or this is what these teachers are doing to your kids. Some of you might be liberal parents that think this is normal and think this is right. For your mentality, maybe because you were brainwashed. But these children should have an open mind to go how their future goes. All this brainwashing is going to turn them into suicidal thoughts, make them so brainwashed into their mentality that this is the fact of life rather than a conditioning of life. And they're going to be, turned out to be the liberal morons you see on TV nowadays. So start educating your kids on intelligence rather than just the trend and the fad of life. Libs keep giving away money for vote buying. Apparently they're giving 1.5 million away to another organization, a liberal organization. So you guys should really keep an eye on where all this money is going. They're desperate. They know they're going to lose, so they'll spend all the money they can to buy all the minority votes, helping them out as much as they can, not realizing they're all going to go get slaughtered anyway. And also, the MPs are trying to put together a coalition, or being forced to put together a coalition for the woman peace and a security ambassador. I'm not sure why Canada needs a woman peace and security ambassador other than to waste money and throw money at someone that's been connected in special interest. Canada needs to deal with its own problems at home first, so that's probably something MPs and responsible people want to look into before you lose more money to unnecessary shit. That's it for Canadian news.